Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Meadows Radio. I am Mama D, your host. My show is called A Conversation with Friends because I believe everyone is a friend we have yet to meet. This show is where you get to know new friends or get reacquainted with old friends. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. Hey, everybody, and welcome to A Conversation with Friends. It's me, Mama D. I hope everybody had a good week. The weather has been nice. I'm not shoveling snow, so I'm a happy bunny. My guest tonight is Amanda Dobra Hope. Love the name, by the way. I've been repeating it all week long. It's fun when I can get a name that I don't have to sit and figure out, am I pronouncing it right? It's just beautiful. First off, thank you very much for agreeing to join me in my madness.
Thank you for having me in your madness.
My show, like I explained, trying to explain so everybody understands, my show is not like any others. This is where you and I sort of sit down, get to know each other, so that everybody who's eavesdropping now and later gets to know who you are and what it is that what your passion is, what you're really passionate about, and because I believe everybody has something that's very important that they get to share. And if I can be helpful in that, just getting to spread the word, then say it big. But here is, let's see if I can get without tripping over my tongue, let's see if I can get your bio. Amanda is a vision holder, evolutionary teacher, writer, author, energy healer, speaker, and holistic life coach. Amanda is passionate about helping others uncover their authentic inner selves so that all have a chance to share their unique gifts in a world that works for everyone. Her belief is that when everyone is on the path, knew I would do that. Everyone is on the planet loves themselves. They can express their true gifts with passion and authenticity, and we will all thrive. Not too bad. I tripped once. It's usually why I record it, but I figured I'm going to go for live.
It's all good.
Okay, so hey Sharon. So you have 3 books. Let's get the pictures.
3 plus. 3 major ones.
3 major ones. Life Salad, Holding Space, and your biggest and most recent. Okay, let's go this way. The Healing of the Masculine and Feminine, How to Truly Change the World from the Inside Out.
Yes. I so love that graphic.
I do, it's pretty. It's simple to do. I'll tell you later how to do it. Okay, so I've noticed that most of your books are about spirituality in a way. There's a link to it everywhere. So what is your beliefs in spirituality, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I always say my true religion is love. And though I studied, I have a Master of Divinity in metaphysics. Sometimes people don't know what that is, or they have conjured ideas of what metaphysics might be. But to me, when I went to go to school for a spiritual education, I was looking for a broad-based spiritual education. Mm-hmm. So I wanted something that covered all different traditions, all different areas, something that was non-exclusive, something that was open-minded, something that sort of covered that science, spirituality, metaphysics, quantum physics, kind of line, I guess. And so I don't even consider myself a metaphysician, really. And my school and my religion and my tradition they're cool enough to, give you the title, give you the ministerial ordination, and let you believe what you want, which is why I picked them.
There you go.
So like I said, my true religion is love. I do little bits of all different things that resonate with me. I've had people call me different things. One person called me a cross between a hippie and a cool chick. Somebody else called me the rock and roll minister because I can be doing a wedding in one moment and at a rock concert the next. So, I kind of just ride that line. And I just use, like I said, what works, what from different traditions resonates with me, and is towards love, and towards positivity and creativity and love.
That's first off, I need to get more information about the school, but because it's along the same lines as me. I was raised as a Catholic. I did my altar girl thing. I got the priest looking at me when I'm ringing the bells when I'm not supposed to, you know. But I believe that everybody should be allowed to believe what they believe without making others feel uncomfortable and without them feeling uncomfortable around others. So I like the idea that it's just like an open, you know, there's no, you can't name it because it's everything.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And for me, it's, you know, if whatever works for you that doesn't hurt you or someone else,
yeah,
and helping you, use that.
Exactly. It's like,
as long as it doesn't hurt you or someone else, then
yeah,
whatever tradition, whatever tools, whatever you want to use, if it doesn't hurt you or someone else, or take away, you know, their
that
color
doesn't,
choice, or their, you know,
yeah,
interfere with, you know, their highest good, then do that. Whatever works.
it's true. And some people don't get that. They're
Many
like,
paths to the same destination.
yes,
Which is really
and
just back to source. So
it's exactly. And source can go by many names: Buddha, God, Allah,
yep.
the goddess. I believe God is a woman. So hey, you know, I like to piss people off. Sorry, and I do that with a pastor who's very insistent. And I just told him, you have to just sort of calm down with me. It's like, you're not gonna sell me your box of cookies, and I'm not gonna sell you mine. And he has learned to calm down, but every so often, when you know the devil in me, the redhead in me, kind of goes, so how's she doing today? And he gives me this look, and it's like, okay, fine. And I know I've had my moment of the day. Sorry, I can't help myself. So of the things that you do, try this one. Luann Williams Stout. Hope you are having a great day. We are. Sun shining, and I'm not shoveling snow, so I'm a very happy bunny. Of the things that you do, is there one that stands out most in your mind that you get up every morning and this is what you look forward to? I mean, everything else is fun, but I always have interesting questions.
Just really getting to the bottom of emotions and feelings and healing. So I've recently been sort of describing myself as the Sherlock Holmes of emotions when I was a kid, and then throughout life, as I was always, you know, investigating what's under that. Well, what's under that? Well, okay, so you have this problem going on. Well, what's under that? And just try and find that root cause, so that people can feel freer in their own bodies, feel freer in their relationship with themselves, feel freer in their relationships with other people, you know, relate to themselves and other people with that authenticity, and honor themselves, honor other people, honor the earth, a world that works for everybody. So
yeah, we would like, especially
know,
especially with everything that's going on these days. People are so tense, and that's putting it very nicely. With the COVID and with what's going on with Black Lives Matter and everything else that we see, and the stuff that we don't see. We need to learn to sort of sit back, take a deep breath, and for me, it's listening. You have to listen to the people. You have to listen to what's going on around you. And I think that's like a major important thing.
Well, and the answer to all of it, and something that my new book discusses, is, and you know, it's serendipitous that I worked on it for almost a decade, and it came out at this time, even though I released other books in between there. This one had its own timing, and you know, so serendipitous that it came out in March, and with, you know, everything that then came up out of the collective. But what it really speaks to is how that outside healing in the outer world, all these wounds that have been under the surface for so long, that are coming up, to be looked at and processed and healed, and that all that work and all that healing starts on the inside, and it starts in each person, and it starts when we can dismantle what society told us we had to act like, and when society stuffed all our stuff down and cut us off from being this or that. And if you're in the choir ringing your bell and you didn't want to be there because it didn't work for you, it may have worked for the other people that were there, but it didn't work for you. You shouldn't have to be there. And then you spent your whole life thinking you had to fit in this box, and then we shut off different parts of ourselves. And so really what we need to do is do that inner healing. The talking about the masculine and feminine, I talk about them as energies, and how we all have to get back to that feminine energy of being, stillness, and relationships, and creativity, meditation, all those things, intuition, where we're emotions, where we don't do the masculine action steps and doing and forward motion until we sit in feminine first. And so everything is push, go forward. And if you just keep doing that, you bowl over people, you bowl over the earth, you bowl over everything. And so we have to pull it all back to really balancing that masculine, feminine inside of us. And then, working on our partnerships, working on our families, working on our societies, working on, then it goes out from there, rather than the change from the outside in, which doesn't work.
No. So for those people who don't understand the difference between the masculine energy and the feminine energy, can you break that down a little bit?
Yeah. So I love telling people about this, because again, it's something our culture kind of shoved down. So people think masculine energy and feminine energy, if they were never, told anything different. I had a friend, the guy a really good friend of mine who wrote the foreword to my current book. He did an experiment. He went into his workplace, and he started asking people, what do you think when I say masculine energy, what does that mean to you? And he talked to some burly guys that are like, oh, it's, doing this, big manly stuff. And, they all thought it was the traditional stereotypes of masculine and feminine energy. I was on another broadcast with a man who has a very, almost completely male audience. And he said to me, well, what do we have to do to embrace that feminine side? Do we have to go out and pick daisies? Yeah. So that's what, some of the men are thinking, is that we have to become completely feminine and completely female, and you don't. So each one of us has masculine and feminine energies inside of us. And the short version of it is just the examples like I gave before. So feminine energies would be things like creativity and stillness and relationships, gestating ideas, emotions. Those are all feminine energy things. And then, so the feminine energy is the being, and the masculine energy is the doing. So the masculine energy is things like academia and plans and structures and putting things into form and manifesting things and doing. So the masculine energy is the doingness. And so, like I said, we all have those inside of us. I go into the book where if we're physiologically male or female, we tend to maybe carry a little bit more of the one that we are. I also talk about two spirits, people who may have been born one gender, but identify with the other. So we talk about all those different things in the book, how the society sort of commands that you act if you're physiologically one gender or another, and how that can kind of beat one out of you, which in our very masculine dominated, energy dominated society beat up the feminine out of all of us, even out of the women.
Yes.
For a long time. So I know that's a long answer to a
that's fine
question, but I told you it took like 10 years to write that book. So even though it's
now I know
it's a lot in a not very large package. It's a lot of those words pack punch. So.
But that's because when you want to make sure that people understand, like you said, sorry for the length of it, but you wanted to make sure that people could understand it. And it's like the one of the ways of masculine to feminine is the woman comes up with the idea, and the feminine comes up with the idea, and the masculine energy creates it, builds it,
makes it happen. Yeah. So I talk a lot about the businesses, companies. So when they create and do things completely in the masculine energy, they're creating all kinds of non-sustainable things. And companies where the people that work for them are miserable because it's all very push forward masculine energy,
Yeah.
where what they need to be doing is having these roundtables, having these open spaces for creation and things, and considering things like the next 7 generations. What is this gonna, if we make this product, or have all these things in place,
Yeah.
what's that going to do to the earth? What's that going to do to the people in this certain town? If we put a factory there, what is, and really hold the space for all of that before they go forward. But our society, has for so long now just been forward, forward, forward at all costs, with no time to ever stop and think about it or just be with it. But that being and that thinking about it has to happen. It should happen before you even do anything at
Yeah.
all.
I was listening to something before, and the gentleman was saying how the answer comes before the question in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he was describing, he was like, that makes sense. It's scary, but it made sense to me. Okay. Gina B in the chat room said, men always feel like they have to solve things.
Well, and like I said, a lot of times when you're physiologically embodied as a male or a female, you do tend to carry a little bit extra of that energy. So yes, men tend to, not always, but tend to carry a little bit more of that masculine energy. So I think that's part of their makeup. Plus the culture taught them, you always have to solve everything. You always have to be the one to do the stuff.
Yeah.
You have to be the one to carry, these different burdens, and you better make it happen. And so it's not really their fault. Society took away their feminine side. I talk a lot too about how women were allowed to access their their masculine sides when the women's movement came. We explored science and math, and I didn't. Other women did who like those kind of things. But and there was no trauma from discovering math and science, right?
Yeah, no.
We have to explore that other side, and it's not just math and science, but just other ways of the masculine energy. But men still have not been allowed by society to explore the feminine energy in themselves. Because like I said, even this guy was like, what do we need to do, pick daisies? It's so far away from what they're thinking. And so I said to him, no, you don't jump from one side to the other.
No.
What's the next thing you could do? Maybe meditate, maybe just learn to sit for 5 minutes a day.
Yep.
Maybe just tune into what's going on in your body for a minute. Just no, you don't have to go pick daisies. No, you don't have to do something that's so far.
You can go pick daisies and give them to your wife if you so choose, or a girlfriend if you want to. But that's not it. Yes.
You can pick daisies for yourself if you want to. But if you are a really burly, manly man kind of guy, and someone says in order to access your feminine side you have to pick daisies, you're not going to like that.
No. Like Gina in the chat room, she says, like carpentry. This woman, I'm her co-host on Thursday show. This woman can do anything. She's like a home redecorator. She just does everything. She can lay a foundation of a cement patio, and I was like, I'm gonna have her build my house.
Gina, what's cool is in my book, in the masculine and feminine book, I do talk about carpenters and electricians and how they would embody the masculine and feminine. I give a little example about that, and I say, where the feminine needs to go first, and how it isn't personal, but it would be like a carpenter and electrician that, if the electrician showed up and said, well, it's not fair, we don't get to go first, and we don't think this is right. And you say, okay, well, go ahead, go put your wires in. There's no walls yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So the carpenter has to go first, but it's not personal. If they come into your office and the electrician, well, why does the carpenter always get to go first? Well, because you need walls to put your wires in.
I think it would be a work together type of thing because, but
I
guys
might like that.
Gina's awesome. Gina, awesome.
Shout out to Gina.
Yes, Gina B. Oh gosh, wait a second. Gina, let's see if I can get this done. I always forget these things. Gina is in the Fox 10, so I always advertise her as well because I'm there too. There you go. Okay, got a lot to okay, first off, everybody has got to get this book, and you've also come up with Kindle books. I'm angry with Amazon, just letting everybody know, because I can only get Kindle books on Amazon.com, and everybody knows I'm on .ca because I'm in Canada. Blah. And but go and check out her books. If you can't get be careful with the delivery service because it's not so reliable these days. But get her book, the healing of the masculine and feminine.
You can get it on Barnes and Noble and any of the other major retailers too, if you don't want to buy it on Amazon.
I want the Kindle version because, like I
The
said,
Kindle version, I do have an ebook on Barnes and Noble. It's not Kindle, but it's an ebook.
same difference. I've been getting books that are PDF, or put it on my Kindle, and Kindle will actually read it to me in my ears. So for me to get things a little bit more, I have to hear it and see it. So I've discovered that Kindle, if you put it in there, if you can make it read out loud, and you can still read along with it. So I'm like,
cool.
So
I did not know that. I like old-fashioned books. I like to hold them in my hand and have the paper.
If I don't have the paper and I have to see it on the screen, it has to be in my ears as well as in my eyes. But paper, I got spend.
That makes sense.
I'm waiting for 4 to come in the mail, but Canada Post has decided to be a schmutz, and then it's just like back up everything for months. But yes, go to Amazon, go to Barnes and Noble, and if you're not sure the name of the book that you want, because she has quite a few, and she has a Kindle set coming out of how to with love, and your first book is when the world is going crazy, has gone crazy.
How to love when the world's gone crazy.
Let's try this again. How to love when the world has gone crazy. Can anybody say when now? There we go.
That's my new series of Kindle quick read ebooks. Those are only available on Amazon. That's the first one. I'm working on the second one about how to turn into your intuition. Those actually came out right after the big, huge magnum opus, how masculine and feminine book. But these are just quick read. They're like half an hour at the most. Quick read, kind of bite-sized pieces of different topics. So.
Can you tell we have a show host in the chat room? What made you write these books?
Question. What made me write these books? My higher power. I am not joking. I had no idea I was going to write books.
Okay.
I started off as a holistic life coach. I got a holistic life coaching degree from the university and the ministerial ordination. So I was doing life coaching and wedding ceremonies, and I was perfectly happy and thought that's what I was going to do, is just see clients one-on-one. And I just kept getting all this guidance, like, nope, you think bigger. And then all these books were downloading. And then I realized I had all this other stuff I wanted to write about. And, not thinking that I was a writer, I would have people say, you write all the time. You have notebooks, you have articles, you have blogs, you write all this stuff. Like, you definitely are a writer. But all this stuff just came out, and all these, I don't know, I just became a writer. I didn't know.
It wasn't a plan. It just,
it wasn't planned.
The universe kind of went, we had plans for you, young lady.
Yeah. And I was open, because I've said for a lot of years now, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
So if they say write a book, I'm going to write a book.
So what was the first book you wrote?
Life Salad.
Okay. Was that, we're going to put this one, was that you knew exactly that this was how it was going to turn out?
Oh, that one came flying through me, and I just was writing. That one came out in 2012. And I just I self-published it on what was CreateSpace back at the time, because I never knew I was going to write books after that. It was just this first thing that came through me, and I thought, okay, it needs to be out there, but I never even thought to like promote it, or I just wasn't in that space yet. And so I just said, it just needs to exist. It needs to be out there. It needs to be printable. I'm not going to do anything huge with it. So I just self-published it on CreateSpace, and kind of just let it be there.
Yeah.
And then the masculine and feminine one started. That one went through a whole thing, but then Holding Space came out in between there. And that one I was like, no, I need a publisher. So that one I went with a boutique publisher. I had actually submitted to one publisher in my genre, because I was guided to go with a publisher, guided to go with a specific publisher. they contacted me within like 2 days of sending it, and they said, because it was send the first chapter, and they said send the rest. Sent the rest. Within a week, I think I had a contract. So
Nice.
that's what happened with that one. And then, in today's publishing world, you end up doing all of your own marketing and everything anyway. And I started freelance writing and editing for other people during that time, in between holding space and the healing of the masculine and feminine. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my own editing and just do all my own things. So I self-published this one under my new publishing company, which is Golden Dolphin Publishing.
So the masculine and the feminine is under your publisher.
It's under my publishing company now. So it's, yes,
company.
Golden Dolphin Publishing. Yep.
You just answered the question for Gina. She goes, does she self-publish now? She goes, never mind. Okay.
Yes, I have developed my own publishing company, and that's what they will all be under from here on out. So
do you plan on taking other authors?
And I get guided to go with a big publisher, and
do you think that you might take on other authors?
I have no idea if I'm guided to.
Well, if anybody has a book out there and they want to looking for a publisher, you never know if you can send it to Dolphin Publishing.
Golden Dolphin Publishing.
Golden Dolphin Publishing.
Yeah.
Send it to her. You never know. She might be told yes.
There was a book I contributed to for a energy healing modality, and I ended up doing a large amount of her editing. She had somebody else finish it up, so I'm not sure what they did with it after I had it, but while she was in the depths of it, I did a lot of her editing. And
so Gina, I think you're answering questions that I said the answers that came before the question. And here's this. Gina says, so can you help others publish?
I mean, probably I could. I definitely do editing for people, and I freelance write articles and things like that, but I haven't tried to publish for somebody else yet. That doesn't mean I can't. Or
you won't know until you try, and you won't be able to try until somebody asks you,
I guess. But I definitely I've done editing for people. I used to edit for a magazine. Like I said, I edited that manuscript / book for the colleague of mine that I am contributor of the book as well. So
okay. Well, let's see. I have a little video, so let's do this one.
A little what? Did that finish? I'm not sure if it finished. Or if we lost you. I can't hear you. That happened last time too. You played a video. I can't hear you.
Oh,
there you are.
Okay. So
yeah, last time you played a video did that too. So that's my holding.
Okay, good. Sorry about that, guys. Internet is not.
Yeah, it's I think when you play the videos, that's my holding.
That's the holding space
book trailer. Yeah, and I don't know if it finished playing or not. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in after the show is done. I will go back and put a link into the comment section on Facebook. So if anybody wants to or just type in, what is it?
If you type in the book name and my name, that usually will. And I do have a YouTube channel as well. And both of the trailers are on my YouTube channel under Amanda Dobra Hope.
She's faster than me. Okay, I'm leaving now. Okay, yes, people, the show is not finished. I am not snoozing on the job. It's my between my laptop and my Wi-Fi, which will hopefully be fixed next week-ish, I hope. We'll see. But yeah, Mom always freezes. Okay. Okay. So the book, the Kindle book, How to with Love, when the
Yeah, the
world is
series
going crazy.
How to with Love, and then the first book is How to Love When the World's Gone Crazy. Yep.
Okay. You wrote that technically during this coronavirus shutdown, lockdown, keep your butt in the house type of thing.
Yep.
Can you give us a little idea of what it's about besides the title pretty much telling us what it's about?
It does. It kind of it talks about how to hold your center. It talks about how to choose love over chaos, choose love over negativity, choose love over all the discombobulation, and how to do that. So there's a lot of all my books. I don't like to just inspire people or get them excited about a topic or expand their mind and then be like, okay, that's all, bye. I like to give them how do I do, what do I do now? How do I do that? How do I implement that? How do I do something with this new knowledge? And so all of my books, I like to put at the end, or even throughout, some sort of actionable, ways to do what I'm saying you can do. So
You give us homework.
Yes and no. Some of
It's making us
while you're reading it. In the process of reading it, you can just ask yourself these questions in your mind. Some of it's homework if you want it to be.
Yeah, and that's what I like about new books these days is I've been noticing is that I call it homework. I haven't been able to figure out the exact word, but I know that's not right.
Some people like that word, and some people that word makes them cringe. So
it's trust me. When a physical therapist made me do work at home, and I said homework, I said, dude, I didn't do homework in high school. You expect me to do it now, but I did. I was a good girl for a change. But you give the reader something to think about, and it's on ourselves. We have to work on ourselves before we can work on everybody else. And this, I think, is one thing that a lot of people forget to do, especially now. We have the time, but have you found that with this quiet time, technically, that you're busier now than you were before the lockdown?
I'm busier writing things, and because it was crazy. I had gestated the masculine and feminine book for, like I said, almost a decade. And it took a really long time to really work through all the self-publishing and, read all the stuff about how I wanted to do it and where I was going to upload and how, and, so there's a lot of things that went into that and that whole process and, getting the book cover designed. And so it was crazy to me that after that whole process, that the next month, I not only wrote and edited and then put out this quick read, 30-minute ebook. And then it was published, and voila. It wasn't in print form, so it was way easier, and the just the whole process was way easier. But so I guess I've been writing more, and like I said, it's like, how did I even just put out another book in the next month? How did that just happen? But as far as people needing me, yes, I've got some people that were former clients of mine that sort of were good for a while, because I like to, when I coach people, when I do my life coaching, which I've done for a while now by phone and Skype, so that didn't really change when, quarantine happened. But I like to give my people wings. I always tell them that I work to be unemployed by my clients, because I want to empower them and give them what they need for the time that they're with me. And then I only want them to come back to me for maintenance. I'm not, I don't want them to be dependent on me or say, well, I want you to keep buying stuff from me or keep coming back to me for more coaching sessions. I want to give them as much as I can so that they can learn to do as much as they can on their own, because that's the point. That's my current book that I'm working on, is how to tune into your intuition, how to build that inner GPS with, your connection to whatever you believe in is bigger than you, so that you can make decisions for yourself. You can be led to the correct authority figures, and then you can process what you need from that and what you don't, so that you're running your own show and you're not just willy-nilly to the authority of
That
whoever
makes
who
sense.
doesn't necessarily know what's good for you. So, but yes, I've had people who are old clients kind of come back out of the woodwork and be like, okay, need to tune up. But so does everybody. I mean, so do I right now, because all the planetary stuff as well, all the eclipses and,
Yeah.
Earth's energetic resonance. If people don't know about I feel like most of your audience probably does, but the Schumann resonance with the kind of like the Richter scale of the Earth's energy field. So that's been shooting up, and
Yes.
all these eclipses and everything's in retrograde, full moons and
I know.
whatever.
It's just lately that I've been paying attention to that word retrograde, and I'm wishing that I'd never heard it before, because
Well,
it's
good
like
because it purges all the stuff that is under the surface that needs to be purged so that we can move forward clearly. But it's not a fun time during this.
No, and it knocks everybody differently. So yeah. You've answered one of Gina's questions before she can ask it. She wanted to know what's the next book, but you answered that one. Do you go places and do you speak? Do you do events and
I do, and I have, and of course those aren't happening right now, but I've got corporations now coming to me for virtual events. In fact, I'm doing one this Thursday for a cable internet company for their employees on a kind of a virtual meeting, because the world has changed so much for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And if you aren't a person like me or you that is already been kind of out there doing our tune into source and whatever, your higher power you want to call, it's shocking. And people aren't used to having this upheaval immediately. And so I'm finding that the mainstream areas that I was blocked from previously are now like, okay, we clearly don't have the answer, so we might go hang out with you weird people have you come in and bring your other energy into our very masculine dominated workplace and see if we can't balance this out a little bit. So yes, I definitely do go other places and speak. I also had a huge event that I was going to be bringing to Nashville. If anyone's familiar with the Shift Network in California, which brings events and courses and things, Stephen Dinan and David Haley Mitchell that do the Shift Network, they were coming up with this whole other thing where there was going to be this huge event in September. And I was actually they were trying to do it in different cities, and I was going to be spearheading the Nashville 3-day event. And then that sort of got canceled before it was started, but hopefully next year. But I would have been spearheading and speaking at that as well. And I have been in a lot of other places speaking on a lot of other topics to a lot of other people. I spoke at TEDx. So I think we lost Mama. I just see me. Hi, I can't see you on Facebook because I'm only on the StreamYard stream, but I think
that's okay.
I came back in. I entertained the audience while you were gone.
Thank you, because I can see you. It's like, shoot. Thank you. Sorry, I really don't know what's going on. So Gina wants to know, do you do your meetings on Zoom? Like the
Sure. Yeah, whatever the client has or whatever they want me to have. I've done Zoom, I've done Skype. I'm looking into the StreamYard thing because I keep popping into my awareness lately. So I think I'm going to jump on here too.
It is. I have to say, it's a great platform. Like I said, my issue is not with StreamYard. It's not even with Facebook, which is an amazing thing. But it makes life so much easier. You can do one live streaming. The free platform is you can just go to one platform at a time. If you go up to different levels, you can either go to the next level is 2 platforms, and the level after that is 5. And so, I mean, it's check it out. It's a great place. Start with the free one because you learn.
I can talk on whatever platform the client wants to put me on.
Exactly. Great job, Amanda. Okay, here we go. These are my friends. They love me dearly. Ashley, great job, Amanda. She kept it going without a hiccup. And that's just good. I choose my guests.
I had to. You want to know something? So I've been doing wedding ceremonies for about 13 years now, and I grew up as a dancer. When I was 3, I started dancing, and I actually taught my former career before I started what I'm doing now. Is I was a dance studio owner. So I'm used to putting on productions, and when things happen, you have to keep going. But same thing with weddings, something will happen and you just think, oh, you make a joke about it and you just keep going. My TEDx talk, my slides completely stopped. And if anyone knows anything about being a TEDx speaker, you aren't allowed to even have bullet points or anything to remind you of where you're at in your talk. You have to memorize the entire thing. The only thing you've got is your slides. And I'm not usually a big slide person, but my slides just froze up in the middle of my talk. And then also the little cool TEDx mic that they give you, right before I'm about to go on, they put it on me and it keeps falling off my ear. I go like this and it flips off, and I go like this and it flips off. And I said, hi, I get to tell you this while she goes away again. So it kept falling off. And so I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm going to not be able to focus on the speech I just memorized if I've got to worry about this thing flying off my head. And so they stuck a handheld mic in my hand, and then I had the slide clicker in the other, and it's just TEDx speakers don't have the handheld mic, right? And so I've got all this stuff, and then my slides stop. I'm telling a story, and my slides stop, and then I just made a joke. I'm like, oh, those aren't even, because it switched to some screen that wasn't even mine. It's like, oh, that isn't even my screen. Okay, well. And then I said something else and made some joke about something. And then all of a sudden my slides came back and I just finished my speech. So I thought to myself, oh my God, that's horrible. That's going to be on my TEDx thing. They were able to edit it out and you couldn't even tell. But, here I've got this other mic and whatever. And then I stopped myself and I said, you know what? No, it shows people that I'm resilient. It shows people that I'm a good public speaker, because I'm not going to freak out. I'm just going to, keep going and say something or make a joke or whatever, but just move on like it never happened, so that the audience isn't feeling uncomfortable or whatever. So yeah, thanks for giving me a chance to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to glitches in my on my shows, because the very first show I did, my daughter's in the chat room sent an emoji and it broke the chat room, and so the
emoji was it?
It was because they were doing it on an iPhone.
But what kind of emoji was it? I mean, it must have been
it was like a happy face or a love you or whatever. But my producer was like, I'm gonna fix that. That'll never happen again. And we just kept. But since
gotta keep rolling.
Then there has not been.
Your audio is going in and out again. I don't know if everyone else is hearing you. I'm not.
A show that I.
Still not hearing her.
That has not had some
kind of. Maybe you can type into Facebook if you're hearing her.
Glitch, and I'm gone on a glitch again. I think. Nope.
Well, it worked out for the glitch in.
It's eventually.
She turns into a princess.
And if it doesn't, well,
then
I'll just transfer to my phone.
the princess in record.
Oh my God.
No, okay. I don't know, again, if anyone on Facebook can still hear me, but because I can't see your comments or hear you, maybe you write in there what's going on for you. So she can see you and she can control that. But I'm guessing she's going to turn it off on her end and come back again, back. Which is, I just heard her say.
I think I'm back.
Really quick.
I think I'm back.
I think she's back. I think I'm back.
From outer space. There you go.
So anyway, yeah, everyone hired me as your speaker because I'm live.
Yeah, because you can roll exactly. Oh God, I hope you can hear me. This is ridiculous. I'm watching myself on Facebook going, Darlene, you've got to stop doing this. I know, I keep cutting out as I'm talking. For the moment, it's like we got 15 minutes left.
The rest of you dancing, because you should dance with us. Because we totally need to do that right now in the middle of all this retrograde. And yeah, we just need to dance. So I told you I used to be a dance teacher. So every once in a while, you just got to bust.
Oh God, I chair dance. A shared dances at work.
I was going to teach that for seniors one time and just, do cool
Shared
stuff.
dancing? Oh yeah, I can.
Work with people who have limited mobility. Yeah, and they could do all kinds of cool stuff.
Gina says she's dancing.
Tried.
This is going to be an interesting audio for the audio version of the show.
if you're on audio, just dance along, even though you can't.
Exactly.
See.
You may not hear it, but
you hear my snapping. Just do your own. Do your own
listen
move.
to the guest. The host is not coming around anymore. She's just like, no, out.
Hopefully you're laughing because we need that.
Yes, gotta raise the vibration somehow. There's no use in getting all cranky and
right. So when the weird stuff happens, make it fun.
Dance through it. Is there anything that you want to do in the future? Is there a specific book and you have in mind, or a specific idea that you want to go towards?
I just want to reach the people that need the message and the people that can broadcast the message, so that I'm not writing all this stuff and then no one sees
it. Just sort of sits there in a blog. You wanted to,
or it doesn't really get out there, because it's honestly, so many things that are happening right now are kind of driving me crazy. It's kind of like those times when you sit on your hands and you're like, can I just say something, please? Because I have some ideas that could help things. Because people start to action with that masculine energy, and this is how we're going to solve it, and this is how we're going to heal, and this is how we're going to whatever. And I'm like, whoa, if anyone's listening to me, I have a little idea over here.
Take a little deep breath. Yep.
And a lot of my little ideas, I'm talking about the people who are the keepers of these ideas. If we need that feminine energy, which we do, let's talk to the people who have kept that energy for eons, the indigenous people, all the people who have been keepers of this energy. I talk a lot in the book about anyone that's been shoved down or made less than in society, women and people of color and indigenous people and gay people and anyone who's been shoved. Those are the people with the answers. So let's go talk to them. Instead of shunning people and pushing them down, society needs to go, hey, actually, we need to look to you because everything's really messed up. And just the people who have been, everything that's been suppressed is the places we need to go looking for the healing that we need. Not more masculine energy of how do we do an anti this and anti that, and put something into place and some task force and throw all our money at this such and such a thing. But like, nobody's talking to the healers. Nobody's talking to the people who have worked with nature and cycles for a bazillion years. It's just those people are still being bowled over. Those people are still being suppressed. Those people are still being, I'm hearing the Black populations and the indigenous populations are being hit the worst by the COVID thing. That should do something. It's starting to have people recognize the imbalance, but I feel like there's still a lot of people who are still throwing their money and solutions at the old ways of solutions. And it's like, well, quit doing that. And another thing that's driven me crazy is that every time some natural disaster has happened for the last however long, I think New Zealand is finally getting it right, where Jacinda said, we're doing however many green energy jobs, by whatever time. But every time there's been some natural disaster, everyone rebuilds. And I'm always like, hey, are you going to start using green technology? Hey, is it going to start being that you use sustainable materials, now that you have to rebuild anyway? And they don't. It's like all the rubble just thrown into the landfill, and it's just, let's use all the same stuff. It's like, but you have a chance to rebuild in a different way, in a better way, in a more sustainable way. Take that opportunity. So, our quiet right now, you're talking about before, take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Be quiet for a minute. Quit trying to make it all happen like, well, okay, we can't do it out in the world right now, so we're going to do all the same stuff, but we're going to do it online. Well, no, maybe don't do all the same stuff. Maybe get quiet for a little bit and, decide how to go forward in a more intentional way rather than just throw everything around and freak out all the time, and keep going forward in that very masculine energy that has brought us to this imbalance in the first place. So, okay, I'm off my.
No, I like the soapbox. I love when people get on their soapbox because that's what this is. This
you said you wanted to know what people were passionate about, though. So there was my soapbox right there. And she's, oh, wait, she was frozen for a second and she's almost back. I'm going to start singing Let It Go because you're frozen. No. Anyone want to sing Let It Go with me? Yes, for sure. There are a lot of good things out there already, Gina. As you know, it's just all that stuff. This is like my books, if they don't get in the hands of, and sometimes when they do get in the hands of people who are the right people, they get shut down because, so, but if the uprising happens like it has with the Black Lives Matter movement, and, this just starts to be more energy from the collective put towards things, then yes, those things that all these people have already come up with. There's some teenage boy who's come up with some device that grabs this junk out of the ocean. I know there's been people that, have something with the energy. So it's out there. It's just money needs to start being thrown towards those people so they can, make their living and do their inventions. But again, I don't even want to talk about that because a lot of that stuff has been squashed down. Uprising and more people doing their inner work so that more people are in that space within themselves. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be an outer uprising from that outside of us and that disembodied side of us, which is good too. It has its purpose, but the part that's going to really actually create the change is when we all create it on the inside and get really balanced and really solid and it's embodied. And then a lot more of us in the collective are embodying that kind of energy. It's just going to change the collective anyway on its own by itself. And I'm betting you know that, Gina. So thank you for bringing that up.
She does. Okay, we got 9 minutes left. See if we can do this without another glitch.
I'll just keep talking if not.
That's good. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go sit in the green room while you just there you go.
Just hand it over, Mama.
Okay,
just kidding.
I love you. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Onyx is looking at me. For those of you who don't know, my dog Onyx mostly shows up. Right now, he's looking at me going, "Mom, what the heck is wrong with you?"
Oh, and there she goes again. So Onyx has been holding the space for us and probably maybe doing too much grounding in all that crazy retrograde energy that's causing technological glitches. Perhaps Onyx's really grounding spiritual energy is just interfering. You know how people blow out lights when they walk in certain places and things? That's perhaps what's happening. So Onyx is just a super dog. And looks like she's back, and I need to take a drink of water. So hopefully she'll get back soon enough that I don't bother you with my little cough here. Uh-oh, she's not back. Dance among yourselves. Oh, did anyone notice my frozen cup? Sorry, I don't know if you saw that. See, we are going to be singing Let It Go. I've got my Olaf cup. She's not back. Okay, so, she's back. Let it go. No. We were going to start singing Let It Go. I don't know if anyone's chatting about it, but I'm trying to get them to sing Let It Go with me.
Gina is.
Gina is? Okay, thanks, Gina. Knew I could count on you. High fives. Virtual high fives.
Oh God, I am really sorry about that, but this is
you know what? This is probably the most fun podcast I've been on because I've just been silly trying to keep it going when you disappear. So yeah,
trust me, you're doing a really good job because I get to watch you on my phone and and it's just using data, not Wi-Fi. So I'm like,
okay, cool.
She's rocking it.
What is she doing? I better watch her. Make sure she's hijacking my channel and doing something really bizarre.
No, just watch you and make sure that she's not going to ask. And I'm leaving. Just leave the show.
I thought you were making sure I wasn't doing anything really crazy that was going to make people run from your channel.
No, I've just had a future guest tell me he's going to come on my show topless in a couple of weeks.
Oh, no. Goodness. So that's why you're checking.
He's lost a lot of weight. He's very proud of himself. And people used to kind of go, ooh, fat, give him fat jokes. And he did, he's a wrestler, and he did a thing where he was topless, and he actually heard some woman go, ooh, damn. And so he says he's going to do a lot more topless shows now. So I messaged him and I asked him, I said, doing my show topless? He goes, oh yeah. I was like, oh god.
Well, yeah, that ought to be an interesting one. Probably lively. Probably lively, yeah.
Okay. Dust is floating around in my. Oh goodness gracious! Oh boy, Mo. Oh yeah. Where do you see him? He's adorable.
We're good. It's all good.
Doris says, I think we all need to let it go. Very, very true.
This is true. This is true. Hey, if you haven't seen Frozen 2 yet, look for that. Totally see it. It's really good. Better than Frozen 1, I thought. Even though Frozen 1 was good. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, totally. Oh my gosh, she disappeared. Wow. Wow. Now we've got some spiritual magic going on here. She literally disappeared. That's fun. I want to hear your comments about this. Where did she go? Where is Darlene? She has literally disappeared. She got sucked into the ethers. Hopefully not. Okay, well, this is my show now, and I'm just kidding. But I really literally don't know where she evaporated to. So Onyx is more powerful than I thought, apparently. I would love to answer any questions you have, but I don't see them. So if you are interested in finding out more about me, because I'm sure that will come up at some point, my website is itsasyoulikeit.com. So itsasyoulikeit.com. That is my website. It has all the fun stuff on it. My TEDx talk on holding space is on there. The Power of Being, it is called. All my books are on there. And I think links to where you can get them. If not, just Google Amazon, Amanda Dobra Hope. You can find me there, or any other thing that you want to do. I'm giving all my things now because I figured we were going to do that anyway.
Good.
My Facebook is facebook.com/itsasyoulikeit. It's the same as my website. Instagram is Amanda Dobra H. I apparently think the person who set it up for me ran out of letters. Gina! Hi! Gina's coming on.
Thank you, Jean.
I was like, I'm going to run upstairs and I'm going to try to save the day.
Oh, come on! I didn't save the day?
You did. But for Mama, because, I'm like, well, is she going to have some kind of representation on this end?
I was just holding it all. You like evaporated, Mama. I don't know what happened. You evaporated it into the ethers.
I know.
I think this dog is very powerful.
Yeah, something's
Onyx
going on.
Is, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a powerful
her
dog.
animals, her animals. We're very pet-friendly shows. And, our animals always make appearances. And Mama always, so there's her internet lately has been crazy. So this is what happens. But at least look at how cute her face is while it's frozen.
It's been so fun. Wait, she's frozen again.
She is. So we're gonna sing.
All right. More let it go. Yeah.
Let it go.
I'm not a singer, but we've been teasing about let it go this whole time. So
she let it go.
Yeah, she let it go.
So hi, very nice to meet you.
Hi, you too. Thanks for all the awesome questions.
Yes, I've enjoyed the interview very much. All right, so you have what? You have 3 books out right now? Is that what it is?
3 sort of traditionally published books that are, available in paperback and ebook, and then that new series I just started, which the series itself, it's just Kindle ebooks that are only on Amazon. That one's called How to with Love is the series. Then the first one that's already out was How to Love When the World's Gone Crazy. And then the one I'm working on right now is How to Tune Into Your Intuition. So sweet. I was guided to release these books because I was told this is what people need right now. So, and they're quick, easy to read, so that they're bite-sized chunks of different topics that, when people need it right now, they can just kind of not have to spend a lot
So
of time.
you're very intuitive. Now, are you psychic intuitive? Are you? I mean, do you do readings?
I never call myself psychic. I'm very intuitive. I'm an empath. You know, very intuitive, definitely clairsentient and claircognizant, and yeah. So feeling and knowing, and when I do my life coaching sessions, I keep thinking I should probably add to my website their intuitive holistic, because they're holistic life coaching sessions, but I should probably add that intuitive word because most of my stuff is, you know, the other day I did one and I ended up energy healing the person. We didn't plan it, but it worked. And
sweet. What time do we have? Oh, you're hey Mama, you're coming in right for the end of your show. It's at 6 o'clock. I know that I mean, hell, I'm ready to start. I'm gonna start.
I know.
I'm gonna start with a question. Bam, bam, bam. So you probably came in to save her time.
I can't wait to watch the replay.
Oh my god. Oh, that's gonna be so funny. Well, hopefully, because I don't edit. It just goes up like it is. All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much. This has been crazy, interesting, and very informative. I'm gonna throw my computer out the window.
No, this is perfect because it's just really heavy.
No hair done, no makeup.
Deep topic, but we got to make it a little lighter. So I actually think it's good.
Yeah, we should have you. We should have you in. Yeah, we should have you in the Fox Den at one of these times. It's a 2-hour show, though. If you can
hey, I can do 2 hours. Trust me.
I bet you
I do 2 hour. I do 2 hour life coaching sessions. I don't do hour life coaching sessions. My sessions are 2 hours.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. That means you care. You know, a lot of people, you know, if they're bang in and out for the money, bang, 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 you know, pay up and see ya. You know, 2 hours shows you care. That's great.
Well, what happens is at an hour, all the good stuff comes up. You need time to work with it. Yeah. You say, okay, we'll see you next week. Well, you just got to spend that whole hour digging up that same stuff again.
Right. Yeah. Well, first, or you're very formal, you know, very formal, at least the first half hour. Then you start, you know, peeling away the layers. And then you get into the nitty gritty into the second hour.
We're peeling after a couple minutes with me. People are just, you know, I'm pretty chill, so people just feel more comfortable with me right away. I'm not very intimidating.
No,
as not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
Hi, Mama. Would you like to end your show? It's like the whole
if I freeze again, then I know. If I freeze again and Gina just sign it out. Amanda, thank you very, very much for putting up with this internet.
For playing along. It's great. I'm having a good time.
Good.
I'm sad it's over. I'm having a good time.
Now the sun's kind of come.
I know.
We'll do it again. We'll do it again. And yes, we'll have you over on the Fox Den.
Yeah, divine intervention going on.
I know what that is, but let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll do it. All right. Hey, very nice to meet you. Mama, I love you. You know I love you, dear.
I know.
All right.
Thanks for coming in and saving my butt.
Bye, ladies. Bye, any other people on Facebook. Thanks for hanging.
There's a lot. Yeah.
We have 3. There you go for now. All right. Good night, guys. I know. Let's do it again. Let's do it again, guys. It's going to take for